Greetings, listening to this radio station. This is the African Portal Radio to you live from Pretoria here in South Africa. Dumela, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ekaso, Moloi, bonjour. No matter what the time is on your side, we greet and we salute everyone listening to this program on the African Portal Radio. This is your one-stop media house where everyone have a say. Is going to be a very interesting conversation this afternoon. Please join us, share this program, let it go viral as we're hosting one of our very own, one of the father in Africa on this program. Professor Timothy Adebayo Fasehun is already with me in the studio that will be having this program raw. The first 30 minutes of this program is going to be English, and the second part of this program is going to be Yoruba. The reason being that Professor actually stands for all Africa. As we know, currently Africa still meant the English as a medium of communication. I'm not sure. Probably in the nearest future, Africa is going to embrace another language of our home, probably Swahili or any of African language that we'll be speaking. But for now, English is one of the, is the medium of communication that we are using currently in Africa. So permit me to do that. As you know, we promote African culture and African identity. So the conversation, first 30 minutes is going to be in English, then the rest will be in Yoruba. Thanks to everyone joining this conversation. Let me use this time to welcome one of the genius, one of the icon, one of the great leader in Africa, Professor Timothy Adebayo Fasehun, onto this radio station, the African Portal. Good afternoon, sir, and how are you today, sir?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you very much for hosting me, and I also greet your viewers all over the world. And I say good afternoon, good morning to you. It's nice to be in the studio with Baba Eto of Victoria this morning. Thank you very much. Yes, I understand that you want to start with Yoruba, with English. Maybe you want me to introduce myself. Should I do that?
Yes, sir. You can introduce yourself, sir. The reason being that I want this conversation to be an exclusive interview where we discuss issues and things that have to do with Africa. We know that God has blessed us with genius people with so much brain, an icon, the great one, the one that I've seen a lot, the one that have contributed a lot, the one that have dedicate his life for the promotion and for the progress of Africa, especially for the unity of Yoruba race and the Africa at large. Sir, let me give you opportunity to introduce yourself, because a lot of people will be very interested to know who you are, where you are, the post you hold in the society.
I start. Èmi ni Timothy Adebayo ọmọ Fasehun. Èmi ni ọmọ Òkè Ìjẹ̀dá. Èmi ni ọmọ aláyé gbèdéngbèdén bí ẹni láyìn. Èmi ni ọmọ Olúwa tí a fi ìwà jì. Èmi ni ọmọ Olúmọ̀gún níbi èrò tí mi wọ́ tiritiri. Kí wọ́n sá ni ní Mògún, kí kí wọ́n yin ni ní mògún, kí wọ́n bú ni ní mògún, ìbí èrò bá jẹun tán gbẹ́rù rí àwọn máa lọ. Èmi ni ọmọ Fasehun, èmi ni ọmọ wa, ọmọ Bùkún, èmi ni ọmọ Áfíríkà. I'm the child of the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. That introduction is beautiful and it's lovely. For those of you that you are listening to us that you don't understand what our father said, like I said, the first 30 minutes is going to be English, and I want everyone to be part of it. He's introducing himself by telling us that he's from Elisha, is from Jeddah. Jeddah is a city very close to it. I've been there several, saying that he's a child and a son of the soil, is a son of Fasehun, is also the son of the soil of Africa, and also the son of the soil of the world. Sir, welcome to African Portal Radio. Is going to be a very interesting time in the studio as we'll be discussing issues that have to do with Africa, issues that have to do with Yoruba nation, issues that have to do with womankind. Sir, you introduce yourself very well, and I like the way you introduce yourself. A lot of people would like to know your education background, where you're coming from, and the journey so far, how you managed to arrive where you are now.
Yeah, I started my primary school at Ogudu Methodist School, Elisha. I was so tiny, I was not going to be admitted because my hand could not, was not as long in those days. But it was only my baptismal certificate that saved the day because I was so tiny. So when I finished from Ogudu Methodist Church, I went to Lagos. And, they were using primary school in the West, but they used standard in Lagos. So I went to Lagos Colony Public School at Ibutemeta in Lagos. From there, I went to Akpata Ganga, African Church Grammar School, Ibadan, Akpata Ganga. Also, I had my HSC, as we call it in those days, at Ijebu Muslim College. From Ijebu Muslim College, after having a stunt with the Nigerian Meteorological Services, I proceeded to England to study meteorology and physics. So I had my first and second degree from the University of Reading in the UK. So I came back home. Later, I had a doctorate in environmental physics from Obafemi Awolowo University. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, sir. It's a beautiful journey indeed, and I have opportunity to know that you are at Akpata Ganga. You happen to one of the colleagues to Ekefa Olubadan of Ibadan, Oloye Lekan Alabi. I spoke to him as well to let him know that you will be on this program. So let me take it from this angle, because you have a very beautiful journey, all the way from Elisha down to Ibadan, down to Lagos, come back to Ogun State, and you are, intercontinental, like moving from one city, from one state to the other. Sir, during your stay at Akpata Ganga in Ibadan, where you have your secondary, we may say now, your secondary education, what is your experience? Because let's start from that side. What's your experience? Things that actually give you enthusiasm to become who you become today?
Yes, I thank you very much, Mr. Oluso. I owe so much to late Baba Odushote, who was our principal. He instilled discipline in us. He instilled hard work in us. And he was a great disciplinarian. And really, he actually taught us how to live. He taught us morality. And the Ekefa can bear witness to this, how we were caned when we misbehaved. And really, I owe much to him. And he made sure, despite the poor resources in those days, that we had the best. We were well grounded in English language. We were well grounded in mathematics. And there was a time that we had to do experiment at Government College Ibadan. But later on, he set up the laboratory. And today, I'm a physicist. And I owe so much to God, and I owe so much to Pa Odushote bookstore, so that today I'm a scientist. So that is my journey so far. He laid the foundation, which I built upon.
Thank you very much. I like that Pa Odusho into the limelight that actually puts most of the things that make you become who you become today. A lot of youths will be listening to us, a lot of people will be listening to this conversation in the nearest future, that they will be thinking what it is that we need to learn from this conversation. One of the things that we need to learn in this conversation is your commitment to the African continent and your focus onto the main thing that make you to become who you become. Sir, what actually motivates you to go for the course, which is environmental science that you go for, that you become a professor? What motivates you? What is the journey? How do you make it? What actually, inspires you that?
You remember that in primary school we were taught nature study in those days, and we were taught to respect the environment. And also in the secondary school, the same thing was also taught to us. And Mr. Odushote was so much particular about that, the maintenance of the environment and how everything worked. But I must say one thing, that while in Ibadan, I also benefited much from the use of the United States library in the center of the town. And every Saturday, I was permitted to go there and borrow books from USAID in Ibadan. The housemaster, I was in the boarding house. He would grant me permission, and I would come back with loads of books. So, and those books were on physics, astronomy, and I learned from that as well. And all those things really work towards that. And we also had teachers as well, Mr. Adigun and co, and others who taught us environmental science. It's about nature, so I had a passion for the environment, and right from youth, and I pursued it.
I like that. But Africa is one of the continents that we are struggling so much when we come to environmental. People seem not to have respect for our environment. You see, like let me use Nigeria as a case study. Like it's an environment where people are not really having value for the environment. Like people stand on the main road, passing urine. People, you get some areas smelling like, Ibadan very well, like some area in Ibadan, like Gege, Olorun, and stuff like that. So, what are you doing to correct that kind of habit in Africa and that kind of attitude that people actually portray, especially in the public?
Really, I don't want to sound negative. Things have really taken a turn in Africa, especially in Nigeria. When in those days, when I was growing up, there used to be what we call sanitary officers, wole, who would come to your house to inspect whether you had stagnant water, whether you had not cleaned your environment. And also when you got to school too, you open your mouth to see whether you have brushed your teeth, all those things. And they also see that you had greens around your house, around your homestead, especially in the school. So we are taught all those things, and they were enforced. But things have degenerated over the years, which is not good. Now, talking about environmental management in Africa, before we became civilized, in quote, excuse me, we had a way of managing the environment. For example, our hunters will not kill an animal with the babies. They will not. They will not. Once they saw animal with babies, they wouldn't. They will spare it. They will spare it. Also, when they used to practice rotational farming, when they farmed for 5 years at one place, they will leave that fallow for some years before moving to another place, so that one will regenerate, so as to maintain the environment. And also, there was little emission into the atmosphere. because we didn't have so much of industries. So the environment was clean. If anything, if you had any problem, it was pathogenic problem, diseases like polio and other things, which actually they also vaccinated us against, smallpox and other things like that. So things have changed. But having said that, we are trying to be in sync with the environment these days. The United Nations Framework for Climate Change was formed, and the formation was actually informed by publication by a woman, The Silent Spring, in 1970s, that drew the world attention to the way we are polluting the environment. And that necessitated United Nations to form that framework so that we can reduce our carbon. And when they formed it, they have the Kyoto Protocol. We were given special, we were exempted because we belong to another category of developing country, because we need to develop, we need to build industry, we need to create wealth. So they exempted us for some years from emitting, from serious emission, whereas developed world, they cap their emission. But every year we have this conference of parties, and I've been to several of them, whereby we negotiate the amount of carbon dioxide you're going to release into the atmosphere. And South Africa is leading in that we go there, we go with our target, and we also give a report to United Nations. But we'll get there. It is my belief that we shall get there.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. I like what you say, but it sounds so promising that we will get there. We will get there. You said something that is very important, like the way things just go outside down in our school, like the time where you are in school, they check on the children, whether they brush their teeth, they check their nails, if there's a dirty in their nails and stuff like that. All those things is already out of our schools. Even we're gonna get there without the continent doing anything, without people being oriented onto that aspect of life, without people on how to take care of our environment. Do you think that the world we will get there? Do you think is going to be something that is going to become to the reality in Africa, most especially in Nigeria, as I'm the one I'm using as a case study? Because it seems that we are not doing anything, and the professional in that aspect, in that space, they are not really doing a campaign or a kind of seminar to educate people, to let them know how valuable our environment is. Do you have any plan, probably in the future or now, to educate people and to let people know how important it is for us to take care of our environment?
You remember that a Kenyan woman, she's late now, won the Nobel Prize for the environment some years ago. And she won that award on the basis of our awareness campaign in Kenya and in other African countries, how to, especially among women, how to live in harmony with the environment. So having said that, so the awareness is already there, but it is not something that one can stop. It is a continual process. We continue to motivate our people. We continue to alert our people to dangers. It is a continual business that we need to be doing. But having said that, you see, poverty is also a barrier. How do you tell a community not to cut down wood, which they need for cooking, when they cannot afford to buy paraffin or buy electric cooker or whatever? So they have to cut down the trees. And some of these trees are very old. Some of them are 100 years old, 80 years old. And once you cut them, to regenerate again, we take another 100 or 50 years. So the government needs actually to to support. So when there's no support, people will let me give you an example. In South Africa, we have got the World Heritage Site, St. Lucia, and you know that we have. And when we declared it, when we submitted application for that, some people did not know what you were into. And when it was declared the World Heritage Site, we all celebrated. But then the community realized that they could no longer go into that place to use herbs for medicine, medicinal herbs. They realized that they could not go to that place to cultivate something they're going to eat. You can see they could no longer go to that place to go and fish indiscriminately. So those are the things. So those are the things that are confronting African nation, in that some of these things must take sacrifices. But for you to make sacrifices, there must be a backup. But in Africa, we don't seem to get such backup. Whereas in Europe, you don't need to. The hospitals are there, so you don't even need to go to the forest to harvest herbs. You don't need to. And the supermarket have got fish. You don't need to go and fish to live. So those are the things that we are looking into. But we continue to do awareness campaign. Indeed, my company, and I know this is not a promotional basis, we conduct accredited training in environmental management, whereby we motivate youth, women, and the people, and also opinion makers, how to look after the environment sustainably.
Let me just out of the question that I actually have for you here. One of the questions says, what is your personal role? Okay, then let me go to that. Let me just quickly look, because you mentioned something about the poverty in Africa. And what is your view about joblessness and poverty in Africa? Can we quickly just have a talk on that before we switch to Yoruba aspect of this interview?
In Africa, generally, we borrowed we got into a system we little understood, even in terms of education. Our educational system does not prepare us for the future. You went there, you learn, and you sat for an examination, you pass, you earn a certificate, but you are not targeted towards a particular market. Therefore, our educational system is not actually suitable. That is the reason every year we turn out thousands of graduates in Africa, if not millions of them, who are unemployable because they were not made for the market. My generation was blessed. I don't want to use the word lucky, because we Christians, we don't use that. We say we are blessed. In that, as soon as we finished, we walk into jobs. For example, by the time I finished my youth service in Zaria, I got 3 jobs. I went to the University of Calabar as a graduate assistant. When I got there, then I went again to the University of Ife. Then also, before I finally settled in Ibadan Horticultural Research Institute, my son will not have that opportunity. So, and then we learned on the job. So we need really to revisit our curriculum. We need to target the market. And we produce engineers, but we have not got industries. We produce pharmacists. We have not got pharmaceutical manufacturing base. Where are they going to work? Except they are employed by the government. So those are the things that are wrong with us. Even we produce teachers. Where are the schools? So we need to look at our curriculum. We need to know what is it that you want, that you be for. I share an experience with you. At the University of Reading, where I graduated, you do not repeat. Once you fail, you fail. Because what you did every year, the curriculum changes. So we follow the 4-year program. So the next 4-year program is different from yours. And the program is tailored towards the market at that time. So somebody who is going to enter year 1, if you are in year 2, is engineered towards something that is yet to come. So you don't repeat, you fail. It's modeled after Oxford. You don't. Once you fail, you go. So those are the things. So during our course, this climate change became an issue. So our program was rapidly modified, and we had to do courses in engineering, electronics. We had to do courses that were not in the brochure they sent me in Lagos before leaving. You can see they targeted us so that, and you see, when I finished, then I was in great demand. So ours is not like that. Some of the curriculum are still 1960s, 1970s, and so on. So one thing, a misconception, is that the university prepares you for what is not yet. Can I repeat myself? The university system teaches you how to think logically, how to make your point logically, how to reason logically, how to accept criticism in a friendly manner, how to improve yourself. So they prepare you to do that. And also, it prepares you for the future. It prepares you for something that has not been invented, you see, so that you go out to add value, to add knowledge. So unfortunately, our system prepares you for something that is past. Can you imagine people still teaching people? It's like people using slide rule. In my HSC, we use slide rule for calculation, and but now, you use the computer. So those are the system. I also share an experience with you when I was at the university in Nigeria. I was head of department, and because I was educated in the UK, so I know the power of the computer. So I ordered a computer. They said you cannot buy a computer. Okay. Then I sent in another order. I said I wanted the data capturer. The supply chain did not know what data capturer was. So I got the first computer in my department. And that computer, Mr. Oluson, produced 3, if not 4 professors today. I've got a professor in the University of Cape Town. I've got a professor at the University of California in Fresno. I've got professors back home in Nigeria who use that 286 computer. You can see. So, because I saw what we needed, and people, the other department criticized me, how could you have computer? I said, well, of course, we needed data. So those are the things that we need to change. Our people, sometimes they are against change. They are against innovation. We need to change that, really. That's my submission on that. And that's my right. We need to revisit that. Yes.
You can continue, sir. You are saying something very important there.
So I was saying that we need to revise our curriculum in Africa, especially in Nigeria. Some professors are still using outdated material to teach. We need to revisit that. We also need to put proper things in place. We need to, if we are going to industrialize, yes, we must do that and produce people to work in those industries. If you are going to go business, then we must teach people. The Alaba, have you ever been to Alaba in Lagos?
Yeah.
A lot of things happening in Alaba. A lot of things is happening there because people are innovative. You see, I also want to share one thing again. I don't want to appear as if I'm boasting. I needed a technologist when I was in the department. So I went to the computer people, and I said I wanted somebody who may graduate with a 3rd class, because if I took a 1st or 2nd class, he will aim to become a professor one day. So I got that young man, and I said to him, you see, I don't have money to buy instruments. I want you to be my instrumental technician. So you are going to build. If you wanted to measure this, you have to improvise. And he graduated third class, and he joined my department. And if you saw his office today, it's like a space station. You see, he went to Alaba, got all those things, all those materials, all those things, you put them together, and we were able to construct our own instrument. You see, crude as they were, and some of my students are listening now, crude as they were, we were able to do some publication on that. So that is it. That is being innovative and using the material. I'm sorry, I'm not decrying people with a third class. I'm not decrying them at all, because you can still have a third class and you can still be a professor. Only you need to go back and improve yourself. But I needed that time, because if I took a second class or first class, you remember, it will become a graduate assistant, and you also want to become a professor. So that is how things are. We need to make use of our resources.
Thank you very much, sir. The time that we have for the English aspect is already run out, but we just had 5 minutes to read, because I still have some things I want to put a clarity on. Sir, you mentioned something that I love so much. Africa is a continent whereby we have a lot of people graduating from engineering, and it seems that when it comes to construction, many African countries run to China to go and bring the expatriate from China to come and do the construction in Africa. We have Africa whereby we run to Western world to bring professionals when it comes to medical aspect. I remember during the COVID-19, Nigeria actually have to get some doctors from India and places like that. Nigeria is, a lot of people are graduating in our university, a lot of professors and things like that. What exactly is the problem? Where do we get it wrong? Does it mean that the government of Africa doesn't believe in African graduates or African professionals, and that is why they prefer the expatriates to come and do the job in Africa? Or what exactly is the problem? Or is the policy?
The problem is that in Africa, I will say we have a trust poverty. Trust poverty. We do not trust ourselves. We do not believe in ourselves. So when an African comes with an idea, we don't take it, but let other national say it, and we buy into it. Our politicians don't listen. They don't listen to their locals. They rather listen to somebody abroad. That is one of those are the reasons. They don't trust, they don't believe in their products. And a society that does not believe in its product, in its subject, cannot proceed. Americans believe in their own people. They believe, and that is why we have nearly every day there's new invention, Silicon Valley and all those places, because the American system believes in them. So also the same thing in the UK, so the same thing in Australia. Maybe let me also divert. Why is it that when we relocate, we perform better? Maybe we should also think about that, because it's the same education, it's the same mindset. Here I am in South Africa by the grace of God, but I'm appreciated here. Not that I wasn't appreciated in Nigeria. I thank Nigeria. I did well in Nigeria. I didn't flee from Nigeria. I was invited to join a research group in South Africa. So we perform. Go to other, when we go out, we flourish. But when we get home, when we are back home, you cannot, because the climate is not ripe. There's a lot of distraction, even socially. The family challenges, all those Owambe, all those celebrations, all those things. So the environment is actually not very, very conducive for deep thinking. For solitude thinking. It's not there. But when you are abroad, you know you are going to assert yourself, you are going to prove yourself. So we work. Why is it that some of the inventions in the US and the UK are made by Africans. If you look at publication in South Africa, many of them are made by Nigerians or Nigerian students who are studying here, several of them. But when those students return to Nigeria, you don't hear of them. So we need to start appreciating ourselves. We need also to create the enabling environment for learning, for scholarship, for appreciation. And it should not be political. It is highly politicized in Nigeria, which is sad.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sorry, I will be cutting you short a bit. Let me just quickly take you to this aspect of COVID, saying that the whole world is facing now. It's raising its ugly head. Everybody seems not to know what to do. Today they come up with this idea, but tomorrow they say no, it's not gonna work. And like what you say earlier on, that Africa, we don't believe in ourselves. A country in Africa, Madagascar, come up with a solution to the COVID-19, and it seems that Africa is not embracing that idea. They don't want to go through that route because Yoruba medicine and stuff like that. Sir, what is your own take on COVID-19 and the African government response COVID-19?
Okay, generally, the African governments, several of them have responded positively, especially in South Africa. There are things in place. We must commend the government of South Africa, the way they are handling it. Nigeria is also trying, so they are doing well generally. Now, come to think of it, you see, there is a conflict between science and politics. In science, if we are arguing and later on I come to your side, I'm respected for taking your advice, for bowing down to your logic. In politics, it is not like that. When you cross the carpet, you are a traitor. You understand? So now politicians want quick answers, but science does not give quick answers. Things have to go through protocol. It has to go through a series of tests. So this Madagascar thing and also other ones that people are talking about, they have to be tested on animals for some period. They have to study the side effects. They have to know the dosage. You see? So before they then go to human beings, and that is another set of protocol, and it takes time. But the politicians and the people are so impatient, which is anti-science. Science is about patience. So we cannot just take it that dongoyaro is good and so on. Then we ask, what's the proportion? What's the active ingredient? So we need to look at those. So I don't think what we should have done is that we should, and I think they are doing it, and I think that Nigeria is doing it. Madagascar deposited those things in Nigeria, and I understand the president has requested that proper research should be done on it. So also in South Africa as well. So it isn't that we do not believe in African medicine. No, we do. But things we have to be able to, we have to be cautious, you see. And that is why people get misunderstood, thinking that we do not appreciate things that are African.
Thank you very much for that, sir. For those of you that are listening to the African Portal Radio, your one-stop media house where everyone have a say. We actually budget 30 minutes for this conversation, which is the English aspect of it, but we already going to 40 minutes of it. So this will be the end to the English aspects. To those of you that are listening to us all over the world, please join the conversation, share it. This is Professor Timothy Apashio here in South Africa, having a conversation on things that have to do with life, that have to do with Africa. We're talking about ourselves, we're talking about the progress, about the challenges facing the African continent especially on our environment and things that have to, the way out to that. That is what we are discussing. In wrap up, What we are saying is that please take care of your environment. Take care of your environment. Don't mess up your environment. Respect your environment. Don't just stand in a place and passing urine in public. Let us make sure that we follow things in the right way. Let's respect our environment. Let's respect our animals, and let's respect our plants. And that is what we are clamoring for on this program for this afternoon. Thank you very, very much for everyone listening to us all over the world. This is your radio. Please join the conversation, share it, and be part of it. Welcome to another part of this conversation that is going to be very, very interesting. Welcome to Yoruba Land. All the Ijesha listen to me. Welcome program. This is your hey, dance to this. Eva. Ètò bàbá ètò lẹ́wọ̀lé sórí rẹ̀ yìí lórí the African Portal Radio, iléeṣẹ́ rédíò tó lágàràgà káàkiri orí gbẹ́rẹ́ àgbáńlá ayé, ẹlẹ́rọ àmì tìtì gbẹgbẹgbẹ lórí òkè Waterkloof nílùú Victoria lórílẹ̀‐èdè South Africa. Àwa náà ni àwa láwọ̀ kí ló mọ̀ àwa làṣàbàjì wálẹ̀ sórí òkè bàrà tó wà nílùú Victoria lórílẹ̀‐èdè South Africa. Ọ̀nà ọ̀bálùkù akalẹ̀ ọba àjíkẹ́ àgbáláyé, ọba náà ọba gbogbo àgbáláyé, aládé náà ọba àgbìyẹ, ọba àánú, ọba olóore ọ̀fẹ́, ọba tó ní wíwọ̀, ọba tó ní jíjẹ, ọba tó ní sísọ, ọba tó ní lílọ, ọba tó ní bíbọ̀, ọba tó ní gbẹ́kẹ̀lé, ọba tó ní àná, ọba tó lónìí, ọba tó lọ́la, ọba tó ní jíjẹ, ọba tó ní mímu, ọba tí ń pa wá mọ́, ọba aláàbò wa Professor Timothy Adebayo rèé Fasehun lójú òpó ètò lónìí. Àwọn ènìyàn àti wọ́n jọ mọ pẹ̀kẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tẹ́ nímọ̀ nípa ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjìrè àti ìṣọ̀kan ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjìrè ní gbogbo ìlú, ní gbogbo ilẹ̀, ní gbogbo tó wọ́n jáde pátápátá akínyín tẹ̀ṣọ́ akínyín tológun akí gbogbo orí adé, akínyín lè fẹ̀yìnfẹ̀ òdáyé níbi tí ojúmọ́ ire ti ń mọ́ wá, akí bàbá jájá bàbá tó ń gbèdì ọ̀tẹ̀ tí wọ́n fi janlẹ̀, kíyín ní ayọ̀yìn ní ọ̀gọ́ ẹnu, akínyín nílé Ifẹ̀ ẹ̀kú ojúmọ́ mọ́, akínyín lọ́yọ̀ọ́ bàbá akínyín àjúbà yín, ikú bàbá yèyé igbákejì òrìṣà bàbá akínyìn àjúbà orí adé, akí gbogbo orí adé pátápátá ní gbogbo ìlú, akínyìn nílé ṣà Ìjẹ̀ṣà Ògbókun, akínyìn ẹ̀kú ojúmọ́ lónìí, akí bàbá orí adé, akí orí adé àjúbà orí adé, akí gbogbo lọ́balọ́ba gbogbo ládéládé ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí. Ọgọ́gàn ọ̀nà lálákẹ́ tẹ́rí bá jẹ tí ò bá yóò ìgbẹ́ lójú rẹ̀ ó tì, ó jù lágbára ètò bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ wọlé sórí rẹ̀ yìí. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ lórúkọ Ọlọ́run ọba àjọkẹ́ ayé, ọba àṣàkẹ́ ọ̀run, ọba tó ní wíwọ̀, ọba tó ní ọba tó ní sísọ, ọba tó ní lílọ, ọba tó ní bíbọ̀, ọba àpamọ́, ọba àánú, ọba olóore ọ̀fẹ́ ńlá, ìgbà ire, ìgbà ayọ̀, ìgbà àlàáfíà náà ló bá wa. Orúkọ tèmi ò yí padà, Olúdáre Olúsan, ọmọ olùṣọ́ àgùntàn Samuel Olúṣẹ́gun Olúsan náà ni èmi. Ìlọ pápá dámọ́ntàn ọmọkùnrin bọ̀ọ̀lẹ̀ ọmọ sọ́sẹ̀ sọ́sọ́ nǹkan níbi kọ́lé sí ọmọ oníyan ọjọ́ kẹfà tí ń ṣe erukú lẹ́lẹ́ tó jó orí tiẹ̀ jẹ láti ilé ìyá mi, èmi lòdì nípa bí ẹ̀kún bàbá mi ò sí nílà ìjà sọ́ọ́ tí bá ń bẹ́ ńlé àdúgbò ẹ̀ràn fún mi jẹ. Ọmọ orí mo lùsìlè mi, ọmọ ají fọ́ọ̀rẹ̀ ṣe tẹ̀ jẹ, ọmọ ají fọwọ́ tiẹ̀ ṣe tí ó jẹ. Elédùà ló gbọ́ akalẹ̀ ọba gbogbo àgbáńlá ayé, ọba tó tó wù, ọba tó tó sin, ọba tó sinmi lé, ọba tó gbẹ́kẹ̀lé, ọba àná, ọba òní, ọba ọ̀la, ọba tó ní wíwà. Bàbá rẹ̀ lójú òpó ètò. Bàbá ẹ jẹ́ fàsìkò yìí gbé yín wọlé sójú òpó ètò, kẹ́ ẹ wá jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan gbà tí mo ní kẹ́ ẹ sọ nípa ara yín, kẹ́ ẹ fira yín àwọn èèyàn. Èdè Yorùbá lẹ́bi sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, ẹ wà sọ lójú pálí, ẹ sọ lójú lọ́sìnì ní ìsìn lẹ́ẹ̀kan, ẹ ń sọ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn òyìnbó ni à ń sọ sí lọ́wọ́ yìí. Àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjìrè ẹ ṣe àwọn fẹ́ gbọ́ yín, àwọn ti jẹ, àwọn ń gbọ́ wa, wọ́n ń gbọ́ wa ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Ìjẹ̀ṣà pátápátá, wọ́n sì gbọ́ wa ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Bàbá ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀ wípé Professor Timothy Adebayo Fasehun ló wà lórí ètò.
Ẹ ṣe bàbá ètò, bàbá ọ̀rọ̀, ẹ ṣe gan-an ni. Èmi ni Timothy Adebayo ọmọ Fasehun, èmi ni ọmọ Òkè Ìjẹ̀dá, èmi ni ọmọ aláàyè gbèdégbèdé bí ẹni láyìn, èmi ni ọmọ olúwa kí wọn fò àjì, èmi ni ọmọ olúmọ̀gún níbi èrò tí mi wọ́ tiritiri, kí wọn bú wọn ní mògún, kí wọn sá wọn ní mògún, kí wọn yin ni ní mògún, ibi èrò bá jẹun tán kí wọn mu tán gbẹ̀nà gbèrú wọn gbẹ̀nà lọ. Èmi ni òdòdó orí kúrú tó yẹ ni ju aṣọ lọ. Èmi ni ọmọ wa, ọmọ òbòkun, èmi ni ọmọ Nàìjíríà, èmi ni ọmọ Áfíríkà, èmi ni ọmọ gbogbo ayé.
Kò ní bàjẹ́ bàbá, inú mi dùn, ayọ̀ mi kún fún bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe gbéra yín tẹ́ ṣe ṣàlàyé ara yín fáwọn èèyàn. Kò sí ẹ̀ńtán bá bílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó dàgbà ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá tó sì tún jẹ́ wípé ó tún lórí ọ̀fẹ́ láti gbélú Ìbàdàn, ọ̀rọ̀ máa ń dá ṣákáṣáká wọn ni. Ẹ̀yin náà gbọ́ bí bàbá ṣe kíra wọn, bàbá kíra wọn délé, wọ́n kíra wọn dábà, wọ́n kíra wọn dé ilé Olúgbọ́n, wọ́n kíra wọn dé ilé Òbòkun, wọ́n kíra wọn délẹ̀ Yorùbá. Bàbá ojú òní ti yé ìbàjẹ́ òní bá lágbára. Bàbá ètò lẹ́wọlé sórí rẹ̀ yìí lórí iléeṣẹ́ rédíò ẹlẹ́rọ amìtìtì lókè waterproof nílùú Victoria, ilé akéde ní Ọlọ́run ọba ló gbé wa kalẹ̀. Àwa iṣẹ́ ọ̀nà oníṣẹ́ títí wa Elédùà ló fi rán wa, àwa náà mọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tọ́lọ́run fi fún wa òun náà là ń ṣe yìí. Ojú òní ti yé ìbàjẹ́ òní bá yín, onímọ̀lẹ̀ yìí ẹ̀yin làwọn Yorùbá ń pè ní ògúnnágbòǹgbò tí ń dátọ́ lẹ́nu ìgbín. Tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìmọ̀, Elédùà dìídì fi fún yín ni, látọ̀run lẹ ti gbé wálé ayé. Bá ojú òní tì yín, mo júbà orí yín, mo sì júbà àwọn ipò tẹ́ ẹ ti dì mú, mo júbà àwọn ìmọ̀ àtàwọn iṣẹ́ tí ẹ ti gbé kalẹ̀. Ìbàjẹ́ òní bá yín, ojú òsì ní tì yín bàbá mi. Ẹ já sáré pẹnu lu àwọn nǹkan tí a ní lójú òpó ètò yìí fún ti ọjọ́ ti tòní. Ẹ jẹ́ n bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti yín bàbá, tó máa pèèyàn lọ́mọ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ní Yorùbá, kí ni nǹkan gan tí wọ́n fi ń pèèyàn Yorùbá? Kí ni Yorùbá?
Tán bá pèèyàn ní Yorùbá, a ti mọ̀ pé ọmọ olúwàbí lẹ́ni yẹn. Ẹni tó bá ti pè ní Yorùbá, ọmọ olúwàbí tó ní ìwà. Nígbà tí mo kíra mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan, èmi ni ọmọ olúwa kí wọ́n fi ìwà jì. So ọmọlúwàbí ni Yorùbá tó jẹ́ pé ó ní akíkanjú ènìyàn àti jagun mólú. Ó jẹ́ ẹni tí ó dẹ̀ ní òdodo, tó dìde, tó dẹ̀ ní ìfẹ́ ènìyàn, tó kó èèyàn mọ́ra. Àwa ni Yorùbá. Ṣùgbọ́n bí Yorùbá ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn, bí èèyàn ṣe máa rí Yorùbá nìyẹn. Ṣùgbọ́n mo wá kàwé kan, àwọn kan wọ́n sọ pé Yorùbá yẹn, wọ́n ní àwọn tó wà ní àwọn Haúsá ló fún wa. Wọ́n ní wọ́n sọ pé a jẹ́ wà straight forward. Wà straight forward. Kì í tọ́ bá wa ṣe.
Bàbá ẹ má bínú, ẹ jẹ́ ràn yín lọ́wọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo láìkì ibi tẹ́ ẹ fẹnu bà ọ́, inú mi dùn, torí ẹ̀ ló jẹ́ béèrè o, torí wọn ò fẹ́ sọ nígbà tí mo sì ti ní àgbà nù lé. Àwọn Yorùbá, mo tọrọ àforíjì láti pò níwájú yín. Wọ́n ní àgbáyé wà ló jẹ́ àkórí ọmọdé ó wọ́. Inú ò tó wájú yín bá mi, mo tọrọ àforíjì. Nínú ìwé tẹ́lẹ̀ kàún, èmi náà ti kàwé o. Àwọn Haúsá wọ́n pè wá ní Yáríbá, wọ́n ní Yáríbá ni wá. Wọ́n ní àwọn ọlọ̀tẹ̀ tó wá láti ìsàlẹ̀ Ọya. Àwọn ọlọ̀tẹ̀ tó wá láti ìsàlẹ̀ Ọya, ó ní túmọ̀ tí wọ́n fún àpèlé Yorùbá tí wọ́n fi pè ní Yáríbá. Lédè tí wọ́n ní Yáríbá, ọlọ̀tẹ̀ tó wá láti ìsàlẹ̀ Ọya. Bàbá ẹjẹ́ tabala bẹ̀ ọ́, ṣé yín rò wípé ìpèlé tán fún wa, ṣé rò pé nǹkan tó yẹ ká máa jẹ ni, àbí kí ni nǹkan gan, kí náà rí lọ́bẹ̀ tó fi wà lọ́wọ́ tó fi ń pè wá Yorùbá?
Elétò àti ẹ̀mí láti rìn jìnnà. Tá a bá wo àwọn àkọsílẹ̀ àti gbogbo nǹkan tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ fún àwọn bàbá ńlá wa, àti rí ibi tí àwọn ìjòyè tó ń ti dìtẹ̀ mọ́ ọba ìlú tọ́ba ìlú lọ. A ti rí ìgbà kán bá lọ sógun tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n á tún ṣe ọ̀tẹ̀. So ó ti wà. Mi ní fẹ́ ẹ ṣáà mọ ìtàn ti Ìlọrin, ẹ mọ ti Aólẹ̀, ẹ mọ ti Àfọ̀njá, you see. So gbogbo yẹn náà ti wà níbẹ̀. Tá a bá tún ní ká tún súnmọ́lé ní Western Nigeria, ẹ náà mọ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin Akíntọ́lá àti Awólọ́wọ̀, àbí? So gbogbo yẹn náà ni pé kájọ sọ nǹkan pọ̀, ká tún lọ tún máa yẹ àga mọ́ra wa ń dì í. So tá a bá tún wo history wa náà ní Nàìjíríà náà, even àwọn ológun, ibi tí Yorùbá tó ti ta Yorùbá, ibi tí akọ̀wé ti ta Yorùbá, àwa ara wa náà ni. Tí tá a bá ti rí èèyàn kan tó bá ti gbórí, bá ṣe máa bá kanlẹ̀ la wá. Tí n bá ní mo fẹ́ di nǹkan lénìí sìn, kí aláwọn èèyàn máa sọ pé ṣe bí inú oko Ìjẹ̀dá ló ti á, wí bẹ́ẹ̀. So ṣùgbọ́n àwọn Ìgbò àti Haúsá wọn ò kì í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, wọ́n máa ń gbé ara wọn ní arugẹ ni, wọ́n máa ń gbé ara wọn lárugẹ ni. So kìíní yẹn ó dàbí pé ó wà ní ẹ̀jẹ̀, ó yẹ kò yẹ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣerú ẹ̀ mọ́. Nǹkan táwọn Haúsá sọ a lè má fẹ́, nígbà tó pé wà ní Yárábá, a lè má fẹ́, ṣùgbọ́n òótọ́ ni wọ́n sọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ dáa náà bó ṣe sọ òótọ́, torí tí wọ́n bá sọ òótọ́ fún èèyàn, ó yẹ kéèyàn náà mú un lò. A ní bú wọn pé wọ́n sọ. Nǹkan tí a máa ṣe tí a fi náà pé orúkọ yẹn kò ní mọ́ mi lórí, a ní ṣe mọ́. Ìyẹn ló yẹ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe.
Ẹ ṣe bàbá, ojú òní tì yín, ẹ jẹ́ sáré mọ́ mo ní kánkànkán torí àkókò. Ẹ mọ̀ pọ́jọ́ ó ń sá lọ, àṣìrọ́jọ́ àrímúsolókùn, ọjọ́ ti ń re bí àná, oòrùn ó ti ń re bí àtiwọ̀. Bàbá, bí olórí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá lórílẹ̀‐èdè South Africa, ẹ jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn aṣojú àti olórí ẹgbẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá nínú àwọn ẹgbẹ́ kan tó wà nílẹ̀ South Africa, lórílẹ̀‐èdè South Africa yìí, ẹgbẹ́ àyísà. Wọ́n ní ẹ̀yin ni olórí àgbà fún ibi àwọn Hall of Paladin. Bí àgbààgbà, bí aṣáájú, bí ẹni tó jẹ́ olóyè àtonímọ̀, bàbá, kí ni iṣẹ́ titi yín bí olórí ìlú, kí sì ni àkọlé tẹ̀yin lè fún ìṣọ̀kan bí olórí?
Ẹ ṣé, èmi ni alága Hall of Paladin. Àwa la máa ń gba àwọn olùdarí ní ìyànjú. A kì í ṣe pé bóyá à ń jẹ́ àjọba lórí wọn, ṣùgbọ́n a máa ń tọ́ wọn sọ́nà pé báyìí ni ló yẹ ká ṣe. So nǹkan tó wù mí ní South Africa pé gbogbo wa, àwọn association yẹn wọ́n ti pọ̀ jù. Ó yẹ ká fi ká dì kan torí wọ́n ní ká rìn ká pọ̀, yíyẹ ló yẹ ni. Nísìnyí wọ́n ti pọ̀, tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ méjì ni, nísìnyí wọ́n ti fẹ́ẹ̀ tó 5, association of Odùduwà, association of this. Ìgbà tá a bá ṣọ́ra, association of Ìjẹ̀ṣà máa wà, Ìjẹ̀bú máa wà, tó bá dẹ̀ ti wà, wàhálà máa dé. So ó dáa tá a bá lè fi ìmọ̀ ṣe ọ̀kan. Nǹkan tí mò ń sọ fún àwọn àyíṣà, NADSA, gbogbo wọn nìyẹn pé gbogbo nǹkan tí ìbá jẹ́ ìwà tí bóyá wọ́n ti jà lẹ́yìn rí ni o, nǹkan tí yóò bá ṣe ẹ jẹ́ ká jókòó, ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ ká lè, torí ìgbà tá a bá pọ̀ yẹn ló dáa. Yẹn ibi tá a wà ní South Africa ń sìn yìí, báwo la ṣe àwọn gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń rí, àní lè ṣe nǹkan kan nípa ẹ̀ níkọ̀ọ̀kan. Àyíṣà díẹ̀ ni àyíṣà lè ṣe, díẹ̀ ni nàìdá lè ṣe. And tá a bá jẹ́ ká máa ṣe lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ báyìí, ọ̀tẹ̀ yẹn á tún wọ́ again. Tí nàìdá bá fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan sìn, àyíṣà náà lè lọ yẹ àgàmọ nídìí. So pé ká lè ṣe ìwọ kan yẹn ká lè fi ìwà ṣọ̀kan, ìyẹn ni mo dúró fún níbí yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí àgbàlagbà.
Ẹ ṣe bàbá, ẹ tí ì dáhùn béèrè mi, kí ni ìṣọ̀kan?
Ìṣọ̀kan nínú bí nǹkan tí à ń ṣe, nǹkan tí a fẹ́ ṣe ní ọjọ́ iwájú. Unity of purpose ní òyìnbó, unity of purpose, pé báyìí la ṣe máa ṣe o, gbogbo wa á dẹ̀ fara tì í, a lè rí ìṣòro ńbẹ̀ o, à á ṣe pọ̀, kì í ṣe pé èèyàn kan sọ pé mo máa sọ fún pé mi dẹ̀ ní fẹ́ ṣerú kínní tẹ́lẹ̀ o, gbogbo à á ṣe, nǹkan tí ìṣọ̀kan jẹ́ nìyẹn. Unity of purpose ó dẹ̀ tún máa ń jẹ́ kí àlàáfíà wà. Tí ìṣọ̀kan bá wà, tí n bá rí yín sìn yín, ìkan náà ni wá, mi sọ pé ibì kan lẹ ti wá, ẹ̀yin náà ẹ̀ ní rí mi bí Ìjẹ̀ṣà, àbí mi ní rí Ẹ̀gbá bí Ẹ̀gbá, mi ní rí Ìjẹ̀bú bí Ìjẹ̀bú. Gbogbo wa ìkan náà ni, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti wà pé káàárọ̀ jíire di káàárọ̀ ojíire, ìkan náà ni, a ti dọmọ ìyá kan nìyẹn, a ti di ọmọ Odùduwà nìyẹn. So nǹkan tẹ́ bá ṣe, even gan tí ò bá dà, máa mú láti kọ́kọ́ support yín ná, mo lè bá yín wí lẹ́yìn o, ṣùgbọ́n màá kọ́kọ́ dúró tì yín pé àjọ wà ní bí pọ̀ dùn, kì í ṣe pé ẹlòmíì. Nǹkan tí mo fi ká bí ìṣọ̀kan ṣe jẹ́ fèmí nìyẹn. Bẹ́ẹ̀mi ṣe ọ̀dà.
Ẹ ṣe bàbá, ẹ má bínú bàbá kó mò ń ṣe kankan kan, ẹ má bínú, inú mi dùn, ẹ ti dáhùn béèrè dáadáa. Ìṣọ̀kan ni wípé ká ṣera wa lóṣùṣù ọwọ̀. Ṣé tá a bá ṣera wa lọ́kàn, òṣùṣù ọwọ̀ ṣe é kan, kò tẹ́lẹ̀ alàyè tó lè móṣùṣù ọwọ̀ tó lè kan, ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá dúró, tí wọ́n dúró lọ́rọ̀ tẹ́mi dúró lọ́tọ̀, ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan ni wọ́n kàn máa mú, wọ́n kàn máa kan dànù ni. Wọ́n lè mú tó ṣùṣù ọwọ̀ wá sí lọ́tọ̀, tí ó sì pọ̀ tó bá wà lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀, ẹ ń bá rí ilẹ̀ yóò kàn, náà ni yóò kàn ní kankan ni yóò kàn dànù, kò sẹ́ni tí ó bí kò ṣe kan, ṣùgbọ́n tó ṣùṣù ọwọ̀ bá wà pọ̀, kò sẹ́ni tó lè kan. Ẹ ṣeun bàbá. Èyí sì wá jẹ́ nǹkan tó wà lára àwọn nǹkan tó ń da ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ láàmú. Ìṣọ̀kan fẹ́ẹ̀ dàbí nǹkan tí ó jẹ́ wàhálà fún ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ láti ṣera wa lọ́kan. Ó dà kó fẹ́ nira nílẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ yìí, pàápàá láàrin àwa tí a pera wa ní èèyàn dúdú, ó fẹ́ nira láti ṣera wa lọ́kan. Bàbá ẹja wò, ìjà yìí rò wípé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wọ́n lè ṣera wọn lọ́kan.
Wọ́n á ṣera wọn lọ́kan. Ẹ wo bí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn bọ́n ṣe dá sílẹ̀, ṣe pé gbogbo àwọn gómìnà yẹn náà ni wọ́n ṣe ìpàdé, àbí wọ́n dẹ̀ dá sílẹ̀. Tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ní Western region, ṣebí kan náà là ń ṣe ń gbà yẹn. So kì í ṣe nǹkan tí a lè ṣe, kò sí nǹkan tó ju Ọlọ́run lọ, a lè ṣe.
Nǹkan tó lè ṣe é ṣe ni. Bàbá wa jẹ́ ká wò ó, ẹjẹ́ àtàbàlàbà ìkan wò ó, kí ni nǹkan tí ń fa ìyapa gan láàrin àwa adúláwọ̀, láàrin àwa Yorùbá? Ẹ wò láàrin adúláwọ̀, ẹ wò láàrin Yorùbá. Torí àìsàn tí ń ṣe kinní kan, àìsàn tí ń ṣe abọ́lọ́yadé ni gbogbo ọlọ́ya ní í ṣe. Láàrin àwa Yorùbá bá a ṣe ṣọ̀kan, gbogbo ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ gan ò ṣọ̀kan, kí ni nǹkan tí ń fà á?
Àìgbọ́niyé ni, nígbà tí àìgbọ́niyé ni màá pè. A tún ní ìgbà míì inú wa gan náà pàápàá ó dúdú, inú wa dúdú, then a tún ní ìfẹ́ ara wa lọ títí, báwo ni mo ti máa sọ pé a trust ara wa, kí n pè bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. So ìyẹn náà agbára wa gbọ́, ìyẹn náà tún fà á, àti pé a tún máa báwo la ṣe máa sọ Yorùbá, competition.
Tẹ̀m̀bẹ̀lẹ̀kún, bòbò pa, bòbò kú lẹ́sẹ̀, ó fẹ́ gòkè lulẹ̀. Ọ̀yà alágbádá kìí ṣọmọ àdúgbò wa, ọmọ àdúgbò wa ni ẹjọ́ ó ṣe é, ẹ tó yọkùn ni ẹ gbówó fún, ẹ mọ̀ bò ó fẹ́ tó ṣe inú pẹlẹbẹ. Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí náà ló dàbí àwọn nǹkan tó ń fa èbò ẹ̀yìn fún ìṣọ̀kan nílẹ̀ pàápàá nílẹ̀ Káàárọ̀ Oòjíire.
Ẹ ti sọ tán.
Bàbá mo dúpẹ́, ìbéèrè kí ló fẹ́ bí ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ yín lọ.
Mo ní ẹ ṣé ẹ ti bá mi sọ nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ ní Yorùbá dáadáa.
Ẹ ṣeun bàbá, ojú òní tì yín bàbá mi, ìbàjẹ́ òní bá yín, ẹ̀yin náà lẹ kọ́ wa, ẹ̀yin náà lẹ ní a máa sọ. Bàbá ẹ jẹ́ tábàlàbì kan sáré wò ó láàrin ìṣẹ́jú kan ká tó máa lọ kó lójú òpó ètò. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ iṣẹ́ lẹ̀ ń ṣe láti rí pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pàápàá lórílẹ̀-èdè South Africa wípé aṣọ̀kan, ẹ ti ṣàlàyé nípa rẹ̀ pé ẹ̀ ń gbé ìgbésẹ̀ láti rí dájú pé aṣọ̀kan. Ẹ jẹ́ tábàlàbì kan wò ó nípa àìsàn kògbóògùn pè ní COVID-19 kiri bí iná ẹ̀rí. Kí ni nǹkan tí ẹ̀yin rí nípa rẹ̀? Àwọn kan ní àhesọ ọ̀rọ̀ lásán ni pé kò sí nǹkan tí ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀, wípé pawópawó nípa àìsàn pawópawó ní pé kì í ṣe àìsàn pààyàn-pààyàn. Bàbá kí ni nǹkan tẹ̀yin rí sí?
Àìmọ̀kan ni ẹni tó bá sọ pé àìmọ̀kan gbáà ni, torí à ń rí àti ńsìnyí kò sẹ́ni tí ò ní mọ̀ pé kò sẹ́ni tí gbogbo wa ń sìn tí ò ní lè náwó sí èèyàn kan tó mọ̀ tó ti ní àrùn yẹn tó dẹ̀ ti tàrùn yẹn tó ti bá lọ. Kò sí ẹni tó bá wà láyé èèyàn ti mọ̀, ó ti ń súnmọ́ lẹ́sìn. Àwọn statistics tá ti ń rí sìn ó ti rí èèyàn, even gan bá ṣe wà níbẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wa gan, àwọn family friend wa tó ti lọ sí isolation tó wà ní ICU àti mọ̀ wọ́n. So báwo lèèyàn ṣe máa sọ pé kò ṣeé sí ọ̀rọ̀ COVID-19 yìí? Òótọ́ ni o, kò ṣe ó yẹ ká máa gbàdúrà, ó yẹ ká dẹ̀ tún máa ṣe nǹkan tí ìjọba ní ká ṣe. Òótọ́ ni o, à ń rí bó ṣe pa wọ́n ní Amẹ́ríkà, a rí bó ṣe pa wọ́n ní Italy, a rí bó ṣe pa wọ́n ní gbogbo ìgbà. Kì í ṣe pé bóyá ńsìn kò kì í ṣe táìmù láti sọ pé China ló ti wá, ó ti wà ń bíbá ń sìn, à ń láti kọ́kọ́ láti wá bá ṣe máa paná ẹ̀. Kì í ṣe táìmù láti máa náwó ń sìn. Òótọ́ ni.
Ẹ ṣé bàbá, ojú òní tì yín, ìbàjẹ́ òní bá yín. Inú mi dùn fún kan tẹ́ sọ torí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn ni ò fẹ́ gbé àìsàn yìí ò lè pe irọ́ náà ń pa pàápàá lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Irọ́ ni, owó náà fi ń pa, àìsàn wo ni irọ́ ni. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ ti tanná sí ní ìsìn pé òótọ́ ló wà, òótọ́ ní sì ń pa èèyàn káàkiri àgbáńlá ayé. Bàbá ẹjá wa tibì kan wò ó, ìjọba orílẹ̀-èdè ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, ẹ rí i pé láwọn ìgbà tó kọjá ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ ti ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tó sọ wá di èbù ẹ̀yìn. Nígbà kan a ti wà níwájú rí, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọkọ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ tó sọ wá dé ẹni èbù ẹ̀yìn, bíi àwọn òwò ẹrú kan kóni lẹ́rú lọ sórílẹ̀-èdè, kan kó àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè adúláwọ̀ lọ sórílẹ̀-èdè bòmíì. Nípa ti àìsàn kòró yìí, ṣé ẹ rò pé ìjọba ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, ṣé ẹ rò pé wọ́n ń sapá wọn láti kápá rẹ̀ àbí láti rí dájú wípé ó kúrò lórí ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀?
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe sọ nígbà tá a sọ òyìnbó pé wọ́n gbìyànjú. Ẹ wo South Africa ibi tá a wà ń sìn, ẹ wo bí ọ̀gá wa president wa bó ṣe ọ̀sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ àbí ló ń sọ fún àtàwọn tó ń bá ṣèjọba wọ́n sọ fún wa bí bó ṣe rí. Wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ gbogbo ibi, wọ́n ti ní àwọn ibòmíì bíi stadium, bíi hall, wọ́n ti convert, wọ́n ti yí wọn padà síbi tí bẹ́ẹ̀dì máa wà. Wọ́n try ní Nàìjíríà náà, wọ́n try wọ́n gbìyànjú níbi tí ó yé wọn dé, níbi tí agbára wọn mọ. Aláti máa ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́. Tó bá ní ká má jáde náà, ṣùgbọ́n a mọ̀ pé ẹlòmíì tó bá jáde ibi ló máa pa. So ìyẹn náà tó tún jẹ́ nǹkan tó tún wàhálà. Ní South Africa sìn, ẹni tí ò bá níṣẹ́ wọ́n fún lówó. Ẹni tí bísínẹ́sì ẹ̀ tó bá tí kìíní bá tó bá wọ́n á fún lówó. Ṣùgbọ́n irú ẹ̀ ò sí ní Nàìjíríà. Wọ́n ní kán pín oúnjẹ, ṣe làwọn kan tún lọ ń jí. Gbogbo yẹn náà ni a máa gbàdúrà fún wọn náà ni pé Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kán ní ẹ̀mí rere, ẹ̀mí láti sin àwọn èèyàn. Gbogbo ẹni gbogbo Áfíríkà ni.
Ẹ ṣé bàbá, ǹjẹ́ ìsọ náà ni wípé àwọn ìjọba ń try pé omi ló pọ̀jọ kà lọ, bọ́wọ́ kinní kan sì ṣe mọ ló ṣe fi ń bọ́jú. Ìbàjẹ́ òní báyìí bàbá, ẹjá ti abala bí tẹ́ sáré sọ̀rọ̀ ní lọ sínú rẹ̀ yìí, ká ti abala bẹ̀ ń wò, abala pé àìní àti àìníṣẹ́ ní ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀. Kí ni ọ̀nà tí ẹ rò wípé a lè dẹ́kun rẹ̀ ní ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀?
Gẹ́gẹ́ mo ṣe sọ ní òyìnbó, economy àti education, bí a ṣe eléyìí tá a gbà lọ́dọ̀ àwọn òyìnbó yẹn kò dàbí pé ó bá wa lára mu. ẹ wo South Africa, wọ́n ní mọ́ọ̀lù táwọn èèyàn bá èdè mọ́ọ̀lù kan ra nǹkan wọn ò tí ì gbádùn. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ wo Nàìjíríà, àwọn èèyàn gbogbo nǹkan lè rí ládùúgbò yín. Àdúgbò yín á ní vulcanizer, àdúgbò yín á ní shoemaker, àdúgbò yín á lẹ́yìn tó da búrẹ́dì, ó tiẹ̀ tún lè ní patent medicine store. So that àwọn informal system ìyẹn náà ló yẹ ká nílò ẹ̀ tó pọ̀. Kì í ṣe pé ká máa lọ sí Walmart. Àwọn economy yẹn kò pé wa torí owó yẹn náà àwọn olóní àwọn ṣọ́ọ̀bù yẹn àwọn òyìnbó ni náà. Ìgbà tá a bá ra nǹkan, owó yẹn á padà lọ sí Germany, owó yẹn á padà lọ sí Europe. Ṣùgbọ́n tó wáyé pé tiwa ni tiwa, ìyẹn náà ni mo sọ fáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá náà pé ní South Africa mo fi sínú Facebook nígbà kan pé ó yẹ ká gan wá bá ṣe máa dá ilé tiwa iṣẹ́ wa lẹ̀ kọ̀múnì àpẹ́ pé ibẹ̀ láti máa ra nǹkan wa, ní Peter Maribo báyìí. Àwọn èèyàn ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa ni mo ti ń rẹran, ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa ni mo ti ń ra àwọn èèyàn ra nǹkan. Kì í ṣe pé mo mọ̀ pé mo lè lọ sí mọ́ọ̀lù náà, ṣùgbọ́n mo ń láti máa patronize wọn. Tí n bá fẹ́ ránṣọ ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa ni máa lọ. So bó ṣe yẹ kó rí, n bá fẹ́ gẹrun ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ni máa lọ. A láti máa kóra wa lárugẹ. Ṣùgbọ́n Africa láti try cottage industry kan dálẹ̀. Irú Ìjẹ̀dá tí mo ti wá báyìí ó lè ní cottage industry. Tó wáyé pé ẹ̀gẹ́ ni wọ́n rìn bẹ̀ kán máa ṣe ẹ̀gẹ́, tó kí àwọn ará Ẹ̀sà Òkè kán máa ṣe nǹkan míì. So gbogbo yẹn á ṣe pọ̀ bí àwọn òyìnbó yẹn náà ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn kókó tó kán tó tóbi. Ṣùgbọ́n economy tí ẹ bá nǹkan bí kò lè kò pé wa rárá.
Bàbá ẹ jẹ́ tabaládì kan wò ó pàápàá nípa èdè. Ẹ rí wípé àwọn òyìnbó wọ́n ti fi nǹkan kan wọ́n ti fi kó wa lọ́bẹ̀ lọ. Eré kan tó ń pè ní cartoon, àwọn tó ń bí lónìí bọ́ bá ṣe jí báyìí láti inú ẹ̀jẹ̀, cartoon náà ń wá káàkiri. Àwọn cartoon yìí sì rèé èdè òyìnbó náà ṣe. Ẹ wá rí wípé ilé-iṣẹ́ agbóhùnsíta ní ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ oòjíire pàápàá nílẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, ẹ rí wípé àwọn èdè ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ ò fi bẹ́ẹ̀ sí lórí àwọn ètò. Àwọn èdè àtọ̀húnrìnwá yìí ni wọ́n gbé sínú gbogbo àwọn ojú òpó ẹ̀rọ tẹlifíṣàn táwọn ọmọ wa ń wò. Èyí sì ń jẹ́ kí àwọn èdè wa kó di kúkú. Bàbá ìrànwọ́ lẹ́lẹ́ gba àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ rédíò àti tẹlifíṣàn nílẹ̀ káàárọ̀ oòjíire àti nílẹ̀ adúláwọ̀.
Àwa náà tiwa ní ká ṣe. Ṣé ẹ rántí South Africa ńgbà tí arákùnrin kan dé tó sọ pé local content? Ṣé ẹ rántí story àwọn tó sọ pé ìyẹn ló yẹ ká gbé lárugẹ. Níbi rédíò irú eléyìí tẹ́ ń ṣe yín náà, ẹ̀yin náà lágbára Ọlọ́run á bùkún yín. Nǹkan tẹ́ ń ṣe kékeré yìí á di tẹlifíṣàn lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la. Á fi pàtàn ni pé ìgbà kan máa wà tẹ́ pé olùsọ ń ṣe kìíní ní small studio, á di tẹlifíṣàn. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti di tẹlifíṣàn, cartoon wa ló máa wà ń bẹ̀. Black àwọn ọmọ cartoon wọn á dẹ̀ máa sọ Yorùbá, ń bẹ̀. Ìyẹn náà la fi lè gbé lárugẹ. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn èèyàn wa wọ́n pé tí ọmọ wọn ò bá sọ òyìnbó, wọn ò wà educated. Àwọn ọmọ mi wọ́n sọ Yorùbá, wọ́n sọ òyìnbó. Mo dẹ̀ tí n bá kọ Yorùbá sí wọn, wọ́n dáhùn, wọ́n á tún kọ ìka tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ program. Ọmọ mi ṣe send nǹkan sí mi, ṣe fi nǹkan ránṣẹ́ sí mi, Yorùbá ni. You see? So ìyẹn ni kò mí pé, ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ kí n wá sọ nǹkan kan fún yín o bàbá ètò. Ṣé rí òyìnbó yẹn ló yẹ kí n sọ tẹ́lẹ̀. Ṣé rí tí èèyàn tá a bá tún gbé ju ibi tó yẹ lọ, àbẹ̀ sí ronú nípasẹ̀ Yorùbá. Let me say it in English, kẹwàá lè sọ ní English ní Yorùbá. You see, if we focus on the Yoruba language or any other language, it's so limiting in terms of science and in other things. So your thinking process is limited. It does not go out, it does not go beyond what you know. No, we talk about space now. We talk about interterrestrial beings. Those things are not in Yoruba. So you will not be able to reason out. When we talk of high-level mathematics, And Ifa is also mathematical. You see, but that it is only statistics. Kò mú infinitesimal analysis, kò mú dání. You see, so tí a bá ní ká pé gbogbo nǹkan wa kó jẹ́ Yorùbá, or kó jẹ́ Igbo, kó jẹ́ Hausa, or kó jẹ́ Zulu or anything, a máa wà limited in our thinking. So my submission on that.
Sir, let me quickly punch in there. I like what you said there, because that is one of the things that is actually bringing us back, because that is what some people say. But is it not possible for us to to upgrade our standard to that level, so that the English can be used in all those aspects, then Yoruba can be able to use in those aspects? Is it not possible?
It is possible, but it is expensive. In an area where you are still struggling with basic needs, ṣé àwa ni a translate gbogbo biology book wa sí Yorùbá, ká tún translate sí Igbo tàbí Hausa tàbí Edo? So ó wà expensive. Nígbà tó yẹ owó yẹn, ó yẹ ká bẹ̀ sí fi kọ́lé or ká fi máa fami sílé yàn, ó wà expensive. So nǹkan tí mo rò pé yẹ ká ṣe ni pé ká ní working knowledge Yorùbá, but our thinking should be universal. For example, kó lọ jẹ́ pé Yorùbá ni mo mọ̀, kó jẹ́ pé Yorùbá ni mo fi ṣe mathematics àti physics mi and so on. Ṣé màá lè wà ní South Africa? Mo sì tí bíbá ẹ bá sún mi sí tí bá ní mo lè lọ sí UK, mo lè lọ sí ibòmí tó ti sọ òyìnbó, mo lè lọ sí Australia, mo lè lọ sí New Zealand, torí pé mo ní universal language. You understand? Even àwọn Chinese, wọ́n kọ́ English. Ṣé mọ̀? Ṣé pé wọ́n kọ́ English gan, wọ́n kọ́. Despite the fact pé the Chinese language.
But sir, I'm sorry to cut you short there, because this is very interesting. This is reality talk. Is it not possible for Africa to adopt one language, then the whole continent build around that language, then that language become a universal language as well, that it can as well be acceptable by other people? Because like what is happening now in the Western world, a lot of people are coming back to Africa, to Nigeria, to come and learn Yoruba, learn Odufa, learn all these Yoruba things that Christianity is actually taking away from us. They are coming back to now embrace it, learning it, and taking it back to their own side. So what do you think? Maybe Africa needs to get a common language, one language, not all the language, but one language that will be our own African language. Then we can now as well, develop it and make it, acceptable to everyone all over the world. Is it not possible? Because, if you look at the Western, like Europeans, the language speaking in Spanish is different to Italian, and it's working for them. Even if they have opportunity to speak English, their government, their president, when you interview them, they speak French, they speak Spanish, they speak Italian. They don't want to speak English. Is it not possible, sir?
Yes, there was a debate as to which language we should adopt. I think that on that debate, they settled on Swahili. Swahili was suggested. There was a debate in the 90s, because Swahili is widely spoken, and they think it was proposed that we adopt Swahili. But then somebody punctured it, that Swahili has correlation of Arabic, you see. So they said it has this correlation of Arabic, therefore it will not. But at the end of the day, Swahili seems to be the most spoken, the most widely spoken language, and that Swahili has got syntax. Tó yẹ pé àwọn èèyàn nǹkan tá a lè fi nǹkan kọ́, tá a lè bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ pé ká develop ẹ̀, ó ní àyè fún bíi mathematics, ó ní àyè fún. Unlike Yorùbá náà ní àyè fún, but kò pọ̀ tó ti Swahili. Zulu náà ní àyè fún, Xhosa náà ní àyè fún, ṣùgbọ́n kò pọ̀ tó bí ti Swahili. So ó yẹ a lè ní, but maybe eléyìí tá fi máa fi agbára wa sí language ó yẹ ká kọ́kọ́ ronú àwọn nǹkan tó ń jẹ wá lọ́kàn. Ìyẹn ni pé poverty ó wà more important náà. Pé ká tẹ̀lé ká má jẹ́ pé àwa ni éèdì máa wá bá ti Chinese.
Káti ọkọ ṣẹ́gun àìní náà. Ogun àìní kọ́kọ́ bọ́nú ẹbí.
Yes.
Ẹ ṣeun bàbá, ẹ jẹ́ sáré ṣe kápẹ́ kan tó rákòókò ti lọ. Mo tún lẹ́nìkan náà tó fẹ́ wọlé sójú òpó ètò yìí láti Ghana. Ẹ jẹ́ sáré ṣe kánkànkán kí a lè sọ wípé ó di ọjọ́ mi. A sì tún máa gbé yín wá láwọn ọgbà míì wá sójú òpó ètò yìí. Bàbá, ẹ lórí ọ̀fẹ́ láti kàwé káàkiri ní àwọn ìlú ní ṣẹ́ni fún wa níwọ̀nba àwọn ibi tẹ́ ti kàwé àtọ̀nà tẹ́ gbà tẹ́ fi débi tẹ́ wà lónìí. Ẹ ti sọ lédè òyìnbó, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ sọ lédè Yorùbá, ìrìn àjò yín débi tẹ́ wà lónìí níbi ìwé kíkà.
Mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ ilé-ìwé àkọ́kọ́ ní Ògúdù Methodist School Iléṣà. Mo lọ sí Lagos Colony Public School ní Lébùté Mẹ́ta ní Lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Mo lọ sí African Church Grammar School Ìbàdàn, Àpáta Gàngà. Mo lọ sí Ìjẹ̀bú Muslim College Ìjẹ̀bú Òde fún HSC. Mo wá lọ sí ìlú òyìnbó Reading University, ibẹ̀ mo ti gba oyè 2. Mo wá padà wálé, mo dẹ̀ wá gba oyè doctorate mi, mo gbà ní Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀ University. Mo ti kàwé nìyẹn.
Oyè tọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tẹ́ ẹ gbà.
Federal University of Technology ní Àkúrẹ́, ibẹ̀ mo ti di associate professor ní 1992 ni mo di associate professor ní Federal University Àkúrẹ́. University of Technology.
Ẹ ṣé bàbá, ojú òní tì yín, ìbàjẹ́ òní bá yín lágbára ìbàrè. Inú mi dùn, ayọ̀ mi kún láti gbé yín wá sórí òpó ètò yìí. Kí tó jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ máa lọ bàbá, ẹ bá ń fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí ń gbọ́ wa, ẹ bá ń fún wọn nímọ̀ràn, ẹ bá ń gbà wọ́n nímọ̀ràn, kẹ́sì bá ń gba ìjọba ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, ẹ bá ń gbà wọ́n náà nímọ̀ràn.
Àwọn èèyàn wa, ẹ ṣé gan fún tẹ́ wo program wa. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ jẹ́ kí ká hùwà bí ọmọlúwàbí. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká ṣe iṣẹ́ tí ò dáa. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká bá wọn ṣe àwọn iṣẹ́ nǹkan tí ò dáa. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká ṣe. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká máa ẹ má jẹ́ ká lọ́wọ́ sí gbogbo oògùn tó ń da orí àwọn èèyàn rú tí àwọn èèyàn wá ń tà kiri. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ má jẹ́ ká bá wọn lọ́wọ́ sí. Nǹkan tá a bá ti ṣe, ẹ jẹ́ kó bọ́ nǹkan tó jẹ́ ojúmu. Ìyẹn ni ẹ dẹ̀ jẹ́ ká ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Wọ́n ní tí iṣu èèyàn bá tú, ṣe là ń fọwọ́ bò. Ilé tá fi máa sọ gbogbo bá ṣe lówó tó, gbogbo bá máa pariwo kiri. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká ṣe mọ́. Ẹ dẹ̀ jẹ́ ká máa ṣiṣẹ́. Bá ṣe wà ní South Africa yìí, oríṣiríṣi àǹfààní ló wà. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ kàwé sí, kó kàwé sí. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ di nǹkan míì, ṣe nǹkan míì, kó ṣe sí. Kọ́ pé torí ìgbà tó bá lọ ilé, ó yẹ kó jẹ́ èèyàn kan tó ti padà pé mo wà ní South Africa, mo lọ ọdún 5, mo lọ ọdún 15, nǹkan tí mo mú wá rèé. So ìyẹn ni. Then gbogbo Africa, ẹ jẹ́ kí ká fi wà ṣọ̀kan. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fi wà ṣọ̀kan. Bí Nkrumah ṣe sọ sẹ́yìn pé Nkrumah ó fẹ́ gbogbo wa ṣe kan ìgbà kan ó tẹ̀ ní gbogbo West Africa yẹn ó di kan ń gbà yẹn tó yẹ pé òun ni president tó yẹ pé ọ́fíìsì ẹ̀ wà ní Mali ń gbà yẹn. Nǹkan tó rí nìyẹn. Ó dẹ̀ fẹ́ kí gbogbo Áfíríkà kó di kan. Mandela náà ó fẹ́ gbogbo wa ká di kan. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́pọ̀, kò yẹ kí ìkan náà ni gbogbo wa. Ìkan náà ni gbogbo wa. Ọlọ́run á fún wa ṣe o.
Ẹ bá gbà wọ́n yẹn wá nílẹ̀ lórí èdè àti àṣà wa.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ máa kọ́ àwọn ọmọ yín ní èdè Yorùbá. Ẹ máa sọ èdè Yorùbá sí wọn lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan. Àwọn ọmọdé nígbà tán bá bí wọn, tán bá wà ní bí ọmọ ọdún bí 2, kọ́ńtẹ̀tọ́ ọdún 2 gan, àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n sọ pé wọ́n lè kọ́ èdè 5 ní ìgbà kan náà. Tẹ́ bá sọ Ìgbò sí wọn, tẹ́ sọ Haúsá sí wọn, tẹ́ sọ Zulu sí wọn, wọ́n ní ṣe ni gbogbo ẹ̀ máa wà lọ́pọlọ wọn. Pé ìgbà tó máa dàgbà, wọ́n á dẹ̀ máa sọ. Nǹkan táwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n sọ nìyẹn. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa sọ àwọn èdè yẹn sáwọn ọmọ wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa sọ mọ́ eléyìí tó máa fi mú sọ̀rọ̀ kò bọ́ sí. So tiwa ni tiwa o. Tiwa ni tiwa o. ẹ má jẹ́ kéde ìlú wa ẹ má jẹ́ kó kú torí a ní gbogbo èdè wa ó jinlẹ̀ ìyẹn gan ló dẹ̀ òun ló sọ òun làwọn èèyàn mọ̀ wá bí Yorùbá.
Ẹ ṣe bàbá ojú yìí gbogbo ẹni tí wọ́n káàkiri ogun mẹ́rin àgbáláyé the African Portal Radio náà lẹ́ ń gbọ́ iléeṣẹ́ rédíò tó làgàràgà káàkiri ogun mẹ́rin àgbáláyé àwa láwọ̀ ìlú mọ̀ Ọlọ́run bá ló gbé wa kalẹ̀ mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan gbàtà fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó pé káre ó jẹ́ ìgbà ẹ̀kọ́ gbé kánú bàbá ló wà lójú òpó yìí onímọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ ni wọ́n ògúnnágbòǹgbò tó ń dátọ́ lẹ́nu ògbín àwọn náà ni wọ́n bàbá rèé Professor Timothy Adebayo Fasehun àwọn lagbó wá sójú òpó ètò yìí lónìí dájọ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀jomitoro ọ̀rọ̀ tó kún régé ìbàjẹ́ òní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kọkùnrin ojú òní tì yín bábá ẹ jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ́ ìtọ́jọ́ ojú òní ti yé ìbàjẹ́ òní bá yọmọ aráyò ní kẹ́gàn yín gbogbo tẹ́ fi ń jẹ́ yòó ní bàjẹ́ mọ́ lára bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣègbélárugẹ àṣà tí ṣe lọ òjìrè ó jẹ wá lógún ó sì dùn mọ́ wa nínú ìbàjẹ́ òní bá yín láti inú ọkàn mi mo súnlẹ̀ fún yín pé ojú òní tì yín ìbàjẹ́ òní bá yín níre ní ẹ̀nà sọ̀rọ̀ àtàyè ní ẹ̀ka máa sọ̀rọ̀ yín ìṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ bá wọn lòdì ìbàjẹ́ òní bá yín ẹ̀ sì ní dààmú lágbára Èdùmàrè ẹ bá sọ fáwọn èèyàn ẹ bá dárúkọ yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí kẹsàn-án mọ́ ọjọ́ mi ọjọ́ rẹ̀ á tún máa gbé yín wá.
Ẹ ṣé gan o ẹ ṣé o Báyọ̀ Fasehun lórúkọ mi o ẹ ṣé gan ni o èmi ni ọmọ olódù bẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀tẹ̀ kàn fi owó ọ̀pọ̀ sí èmi ni ọmọ òkè ìjẹ̀dá èmi ni ọmọ wa ọmọ òbòkun mo kí yín o ẹ ṣé o èmi lọmọ Áfíríkà èmi lọmọ gbogbo ayé.
Ẹ ṣé bàbá ẹ ṣe àwọn tó ń wò yín láti orílẹ̀-èdè tó ń sọ wípé àwọn ń gbọ́ yín àwọn sì ń wò yín wípé inú àwọn ń dùn sí nǹkan tí ẹ̀ ń ṣe wọ́n ń wò yín láti Australia wọ́n sì ń gbé sàdákátà náà sí yín láti ibẹ̀ náà pẹ̀lú ìbàjẹ́ òde báyìí bàbá ojú òsì ní tìyín àjẹmọ́ fèyí ṣe lọ níre láyọ̀láyọ̀ náà láàmú àjọ máa pàdé ara wa á tún máa gbé wá láwọn ìgbà míì tí àjọ máa ní ìfọ̀rọ̀jomitoro ọ̀rọ̀ èyí tí ó lóòrìn tí ó sì kún rẹ́gí ìbàjẹ́ òde bá wa ojú òní tiwa lágbára Èdùmàrè tí wọ́n káàkiri ogun mẹ́rin àgbáláyé adúpẹ́ pé òkun lọ́wọ́ yín ní ìnáà láà máa fi àdágbà ti tó tò ní rọ̀rọ̀ sí oníyanṣẹ́ ọlọ́bẹ̀ ṣe èyí tẹ́ bá fẹ́ jẹ́ ẹkú àìbínú bẹ́ẹ̀ bí wọ́n sọ ní gbogbo pé a máa fi ọ̀bẹ nú bẹ́ṣu ní àtẹ́lẹsẹ̀ á sì bẹ̀nà wò ẹni bá ní ọmọ bọ́ọ̀lù kan láwọn onílé bá lé o á lọ lónìí á padà wá lágbára Èdùmàrè ẹ̀yin tí lédùn àṣẹgi ọ̀là fún ẹ̀yin tẹ́ nífọ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹfi tí ẹfi pé tètò yìí lárugẹ èdè Yorùbá èdè ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ là ń gbé láyé ẹfi tí ẹfi gbọ́dọ̀ afẹ́ onígbọ̀wọ́ ẹ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ ṣe ìbàjẹ́ òní bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan ọ̀kan wa ẹ mọ̀ pé ìlú Ìbàdàn dáńfò ní ṣiṣẹ́ eré láì ní kọ̀ǹdọ́ ẹ̀yin ò ní ìlú Ìbàdàn nínú orílẹ̀-èdè South Africa dáńfò ṣiṣẹ́ eré láì ní kọ̀ǹdọ́ ìwọ tó jókòó wájú ọkọ̀ ló gbowó ọkọ̀ tó bá mú ó gbà ọmọ mọ́tò ẹ̀mọ̀kọ́ ọmọ mọ́tò bákan náà láyé bọ́n lọ sí ọtí ó lè ọsàn kalẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ìlú Ìbàdàn dáńfò ní ṣiṣẹ́ eré láì ní kọ̀ǹdọ́ tẹ́ bá rọ́mọ ní dáńfò tó bá dúró wájú lé bàbá rẹ̀ lálẹ́ tí bá ń pariwo máwọn èèyàn iṣẹ́ ló mọ ńlá o iṣẹ́ mọ ńlá lónìí mo ké tọ́tọ́ mo dìbò fẹ́nu mi olúbọ̀nbọ̀ tí rí bọ̀m̀bọ̀ ìbàjẹ́ òní bá wa èmi náà ni ọmọ yìí ọ̀rẹ́ yìí olólùfẹ́ yìí olùdarí olùsọ̀ olùṣọ́ àgùntàn Samuel Olúṣẹ́gun olùsọ̀ ìbílẹ̀ wọn padà mọ́ ń tọ̀ fọmọkùnrin bọ̀lẹ̀bọ̀lẹ̀ ọmọ sọ́sì sísọ nǹkan kiri kọ́lé ọmọ ní ọjọ́ kẹfà tí ń ṣe olùkọ́lẹ́lẹ́ tó jó orí tiẹ̀ jẹ láti ilé ìyá mi èmi lògì nípa bí ẹ̀kọ́ máa bá mi ò sí nílò ajá sọ tí máa ń bẹ́ ńlé àdúgbò ẹ̀ràn fún mi jẹ ọmọ orí molú sì lè mi ọmọ ají fọ́rẹ́ jẹ ọmọ ají fọwọ́ ẹ̀ ṣe tí ó jẹ ìbàjẹ́ òní bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan kan wa ojú òní tiwa ayọ̀ àlàáfíà náà láti máa pàdé láti orílẹ̀-èdè Ghana náà ti wọlé yìí ẹjẹ́ gbọ́dọ̀ òpó ètò kẹ̀kẹ́ láti orílẹ̀-èdè Ghana òun náà fẹ́ wọlé wa ẹjẹ́ gbé wọlé sójú òpó ètò kágbọ́ látọ̀dọ̀ tiẹ̀ náà pẹ̀lú òun náà kó ṣe ẹlẹ́bẹ̀ sí àwọn èèyàn wa bàbá ìṣìwà lójú òpó ẹ̀mẹ́ ìtì lọ ẹjẹ́ gbọ́ láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹni tó ń wọlé láti orílẹ̀-èdè Ghana yìí kí òun náà ṣe ẹ̀lẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé ètò ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ náà ni Nana Akusa ní lójú òpó ètò this is Nana Akusa all the way from Ghana oh Nana please help me blow some Ashanti to all my listeners. Professor Timothy Adebayo Fasehun is also on the studio with me that we are having conversation. It's a deep conversation, you know, when you have Professor in the house. Please, Nana, greet everybody in Ashanti from Ghana. Let everyone know that this is one Africa.
Hello, everyone. Yachia Portal Radio etiefo nyina Professor Mechachia every Ghana language asante kasem chi ohoye means ohoye.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been to Ghana. Thank you so much. I'm fine, thank you. I remember my visit to Ghana sometimes to the Department of Physics some years ago. Yes, very interesting.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Enjoy the
If you
program
come to
with my
Ghana,
brother.
say
Over
about Ghana.
Africa. This is what we do. This is Africa. We represent African unity. Thank you very much to everyone. This will be the end to this program. Nana, sorry that we are unable to actually put you on earlier on because we are having a deep conversation with Professor and that have took most of our time. But Nana, let me promise you, you will be one of the radio that you'll be playing our latest news, latest information from Ghana. Before you go, please tell everyone listening to us what is happening in Ghana in just 1 second before we call it a day.
Okay, Joshua. The Ecos Ghana Hano, a cool. But to say the anomaly say a colonial virus, I buy a COVID-19, I bet take it over. And this pandemic has been something like Obi antimi nti ase. The air Ghana yaman penny Nana Adodankwa Akufuado Katachie Bemaba Obrempono Ondo Tusia or Tumlano a Chesie or de enema guaquem. Ah, yes, sorry, young Wokuri and Sa, Yanfa Semna, and Sa, it won't sweat nimu. So, Yanfa hand sanitizer, and for fire and sound day in, day out, Sebe boy. After social distances, Yantity and Tim, bear like 15 meters away, yeah. So be ben was, and yam penny fund dear guac. And to Ghana had it, make me say, Siano, baby, marketing. If you come to marketing, Sikasemu Aquafom Kakra, I'm a nipa baby, or Ghana has it.
Thank you, Nana Kusa. Thank you for that update there. I really love what you say. What Nana said is that in Ghana, the COVID-19, as you know, is a general phenomenon. It's everywhere in the world. Everybody is facing it. So he said as well, COVID-19 is still raising its ugly head in Ghana. That is the phrase of what Nana is telling us. Nana, by the grace of God, I will speak to you after the program. We will schedule your program on this radio station that you'll be coming in. You will be blowing Asante deep, Asante complete, Asante original, Asante only on the African portal. For everyone listening to us, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this program. Please share it, let it go viral. This is your home. This is African home. This is where everyone belongs. This is where everyone have a stay. My name still remains Joshua Oludare Oluso. And to Professor, thank you very much, sir, for coming out to be part of this program. You are truly a son of the soil. You are a father indeed. We are looking at you. Your life has been a very good example to us. Thank you very, very much. Nana Akusa, thank you very much for taking time, even though we have put you on hold for a very long time, but I'm very sorry about that. Accept the apology. Thank you very, very much. God bless you. We'll talk after the program, then we will have a conversation and make arrangements. But you are going to be on this radio every now and then. This is your home now. We'll be doing it together. One Africa. God bless Africa. God bless everyone listening to us. We will see you again tomorrow. Meet us tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be another day as we'll be giving you raw on our radio in Ibadan, on Lorile, Eto Baba Eto, King FM, on King FM in Ibadan. Please join us as well. Join us tomorrow on this radio as well, as we'll be hosting one of our own, one of the Olori in Nigeria tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Friday, join Kasim Rahim. Saturday is Mandela Day.
Hello,
Join one of the African daughter as well on this radio. Nana, you have said something? Okay, we'll land there. Thank you, everyone. God bless everyone. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate. God bless you, sir. Thank you very, very much. From the bottom of my heart, I pray that may the Lord bless you. May the Lord bless your work. May the Lord bless your family. May the Lord make His face to shine upon you. We'll be bringing you back onto this radio station every now and then. Very much, sir. God bless you. It's a goodbye from here. Let's enjoy this music before we say goodbye from Elisha. I mean, where we are promoting the people from Ilesha. Is for the Ijesha people. All the Ijesha in the house, street. We will see you tomorrow. God bless you, very good. Thank you very much. Nana, sir, thank you very much. We'll talk after the program and we will make
Thank you,
arrangements for your
Joshua.
show.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very much. Thank you, Nana. God bless you. We'll make arrangement for your show after
Thank you. Bye.
this program. God bless you. Bye for now.
All right. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, everyone. Asante. Wotie Portal Red. Midomuni na. Bye bye.